First of all, get into this face, y'all, cause I worked really hard for this face. You don't even understand. Akwaba, welcome to my channel. Okay, it's been a long time coming. This is my first YouTube video. You know, I've just been doing a lot of ranting on Snapchat for a number of years, and people have just been telling me, like, Melody, you're so funny, like, just do a YouTube channel already, because you're just so funny, and Snapchat is not enough for you to be funny. Like, you need to be funny elsewhere on YouTube. And so that's what I'm doing. You know, and there's no other time to do it either, because it's Corona time, you know, and in quarantine and everything, it's gonna drive me crazy. So I'm doing this to keep me sane. So for my first video, I wanted to do a little story time thing, you know, get a little personal, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is the story about the time I got ghosted. Yes. I feel like it's a very interesting story. I feel like everything about it is interesting. You know, it's funny when you really like take yourself out of it and you sit back and you look at it. It's funny, you know how, like, when you go through something and, like, when you're going through it, it's not funny, but like when you take yourself out of it for a second, when you just get out of your head and you like take a look back at everything that happened throughout that whole thing, it's like you just see that it's funny, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it all started on a nice summer day in July. There were fireworks exploding, but now it's getting cold. If you don't know that song, by the way, go check that out. That's early Jhené Aiko, okay? Early Jhené Aiko was the shit. I mean, this Jhené Aiko is still the shit, okay? So yeah, it was a nice summer day in July. I was coming back from volunteering at the Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital in Washington Heights. So I was on the bus and my mom FaceTimes me, right? And she was like, Melody, I found you a friend. So I'm like, a friend? Like, I'm thinking it's a girlfriend, because my mom is not the type to be like setting me up with anybody, because she always tell me, like, Melody, like, what you need to do is focus on your books. Like, you don't need to be worrying about no boyfriend, okay? No boys. And I agree with her 100%. You know what I'm saying? And the universe made it easier on me anyway, because nobody was coming for me regardless, okay? Nobody was checking for me. So I was cool with it. You know, I was content with the fact that my first boyfriend might come when I turned 30, and I was content with it. I was cool with it. So I was not expecting for, like, you know, when she turned the phone around, to be a boy on the other end, or a man I should say, a man on the other end, and he was growing at that, you know. I mean, the quality was bad. The FaceTime quality of the FaceTime call was kind of bad, so I didn't really see how he looked, but I could see that he was grown, right? Fast forward, I get to the store, because I was close anyway, so he waited for me to come. And when I opened the door, I saw the most beautiful creature I have ever seen. I mean, tall, dark, and handsome. Do you know how hard it is to find tall, dark, and handsome? All three of those things. A lot of girls want to find somebody that is tall, dark, and handsome, okay? So, like, you either find two of the three, one of the three. No, I found three of the three, like, just standing right before my eyes. Okay, I mean, Lord, he was dark, like dark chocolate, and I ain't talking about Hershey dark chocolate, not that fake dark chocolate. I'm talking about the real dark chocolate from the forest of Africa, Lord, and he just stood as mighty as an oak tree, Lord. He was just so tall, Lord. He was so tall. He was so goddamn tall, Lord. ooh, and his face is so sharp that it could just cut you, Lord. Like it just like this, like you just touch it and you just get a paper cut, Lord. It could, oh Lord, oh, and I know I'm using your name in vain, Lord, but it's just you gotta keep saying your name, child, because honey, Lord, your father did the damn thing. He did a number on this man. Hold on, Lord. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I said all that to say he was very handsome. Okay, so we had like a small little conversation. I don't know what the hell was said. I don't remember, because I just remember being infatuated with what I saw. I was mesmerized. But yeah, we started talking the next morning, start texting on IG, on Instagram, and told me about himself. I told him about myself. Apparently he was you know, he was accomplished 2 degrees. He had European roots, and he was, you know, he was Ghanaian, of course, you know, but he had European roots. Okay, like anybody that know me knows that I have always like wanted to marry somebody like that was African and European. Okay, African European man. Like I've always said this. I want an African European man. Okay, so it was convenient that he had European roots. You know, very convenient. But unfortunately, I didn't hear no type of European accent. You know, but he did have a New York accent, and you know, New York accent is definitely up there with the type of accents that I find very attractive. The New York accent is, of course, very up there because New York accents are very, okay, especially you know, on a man. I just find it very attractive, you know. But he had more of a New York accent than I did, and I originate here. He doesn't. So I was like, what the fuck is that?
What the hell is even that?
So yeah, we're talking for 2 days or whatever. He asked me what I wanted. I said I don't know, because prior to him I wasn't messing with anybody. Anyway, like I've never really been involved with any type of man in that way, so I didn't know what I wanted. I told him I didn't know what I wanted, and I was going as I go. And I asked him what he wanted, and he was like, well, I want a vibe. I didn't know what a vibe was, but I said cool, and I found out what a vibe was like later on. So I was like, oh no, like I should have just sat my ass down. But it's okay though, you know, character development. I forgot to say one thing though. He was actually here. The reason why he was here was to buy beads for some other girl in some other place that I will not disclose. I thought that was very peculiar, because like you don't just buy beads for anybody, you know what I'm saying? Him being Ghanaian, like he should know, like beads are something, like if you're gonna buy that for a girl, like that means that girl, that's your girl, basically. That's like, I know all my Africans know, like if you gonna buy beads for somebody, that's your girl, man. That's your girl. Like what? But he made it clear that like that wasn't his girl, and I was like, okay, like cool, whatever, right? Because you know, from what I understood, like when it comes to talking, it's like, you know, when you're talking to somebody, there's not really any rules. Like you could explore your options or whatever, you know, as long as like you don't like you. There's just no rules in talking. So I was cool with it. But then like after those 2 days we were talking, like I didn't hear from him for another like 4 days. In those 4 days he was visiting the girl. So I'm like, wait. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like that's kind of peculiar. You know, some in the water ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like it smells like Kobe. It smells like salted fish, like that stinky salted fish. You know, my Ghanaians know what I'm talking about. Like it just, don't smell right. That's not a good sign, you know. And I asked him again, and he said that wasn't his girl's. I was like, okay, cool, whatever you say. Fast forward, he continued to be inconsistent, you know, and I learned to, like, you know, that, like, you know, talking, like I said, talking has no rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not his girl. I'm not gonna be prioritized. Like, I understood that, right? But it was like, you know, like, we'd be having a conversation, and then, like, I would send the last text, and I wouldn't hear from him for another 2 weeks. So at some point, we did exchange numbers, and we only had one phone call, one FaceTime, both under a minute, because he claims that he didn't really like to, like, talk over the phone. And I was like, alright, cool. I was cool with that too. See, I'm a very understanding person. I was cool with it. But then somewhere along the line, he, like, something happened and he changed his number, and he did not give me his number. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna pressure you into giving me your number. So I left it the way it is. I was like, alright, cool, keep your number. That's cool with me. So eventually, like, the inconsistency was getting annoying. So I was just like, I just cut him off. Like, I told him, like, I don't want to talk to you no more. Like, straight up, I was like, I don't want to talk to you no more, because I'm not the type to ghost anybody. I don't fuck with the ghosting. Like, I'm not for that. So I told him straight up, and he was like, alright, cool, right? Mind you, prior to the to me cutting him off, like, on Snapchat, he didn't really watch my snaps often. But after I decided, like, we're not doing this no more, started watching my snaps religiously. So I was like, like, what do you want? Like, what is going on, right? So eventually, because we weren't talking for a month, so eventually I sent him this emoji, you know, that emoji. So I sent him that emoji, and all the everything spilled out. He was like, oh, like, you know, I'm coming back home soon, like, you know, when you, like, going back to school, you know, like, guess he wanted to link up or something. Because I also regretted to say, see, I'm a bad storyteller, oh my god. So I also regretted to say that he went to school in PA, you know, I go to school in DC, you know, the illustrious Howard HU, you know what I'm saying, you know, feel me? So it was like, we were like 6 hours away from each other, so ain't no way we would link up, you know. It wasn't gonna happen. And also, like I said before, he was an athlete, and I don't think I also said he was he was graduating senior at the time. But so I guess, you know, his plate was full, my plate was full with being a sophomore or whatever. So yeah, we never got to link up like that. And then over the summer we couldn't link up either, because he had to go upstate for something too. So we couldn't link up. So I guess this was the chance to link up, and that didn't happen either. It didn't happen either, because it was some miscommunication, and I was like, see, this is the reason why I cut you off, because, like, you're inconsistent. You don't fucking know how to communicate. So, but then somehow, like, I started talking to him again. He just crawled back in. And this time he made it, like, very clear that he was sexually attracted to me, you know, because he sent me a nude prior to that, but he sent me another nude again. And this time, you know, I guess I went off on him one time, because, like, he was being inconsistent again, because he started off, like, he was improving, he was doing well, like, you know, like, responding back to me, whatever. But then, like, I guess, like, I asked him a question, like, we were just having a conversation or whatever, and I asked him a question or something, and then I didn't hear from him for like 3 days. I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, we was having a fucking conversation, like, come on, man. So yeah, he was like, you know, like, straight up just told me, like, twiddled his thumbs, twiddled his thumbs, and told me straight up, he was like,
to be digged down.
I'm like, what? I used to be what? Like, what did you say? Like, when he sent me that, I was online in the cafeteria, like, just I was staring at my phone. He said, what? What? And he was like, yeah, you know, it would calm me down. I'm like, what the fuck? Dick is not the answer to everything. Like, how dare you? You know? But I honestly wasn't mad at it because, like I previously stated before, this man was very beautiful. This man was a very beautiful man. So I was like, I ain't mad at it, but, you know? Like, so then that's when, like, talks of commitment came along. Because you know, I had ideals. Like, I was always like, in order for me to, you know, allow somebody to come inside of me, it has to be somebody who loved me very much and respected me. You know, like somebody who was, like, you know, maybe my boyfriend or my significant other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't just want to do it with somebody that, like, just was going to do it once. I was going to see them once and then never see them again. Like, somebody inconsistent as him. I didn't want to do that. So I told him that. And then I guess, like, he tried to dodge the topic, like, several times. I just would always bring it back. Like, what the hell, you know? At some point, I guess he just got tired of dodging, and then I didn't hear from him again. I didn't hear from him again after that. And yeah, and at this point, we were just our only form of communication was Snapchat. At this point, like, we didn't talk anywhere except for Snapchat. So after that, it was clicked, I guess. He was like, commitment, no, I'm out. We're not doing that. So yeah. This is where we're at now. So he basically ghosted me. Like, it's been like over a month now, you could say, and I have not heard from him. Like, and obviously, like, I know he's seeing my messages too, because he opens it and that's it. And I just be like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? So I just left it alone. It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess God is doing the work for me. I don't know if it's God doing the work for me. I don't know if it's him doing the work for me. But it's like, you know, at some point, like, I was actually ready to throw away, like, my ideals and just do the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, God don't like ugly. You know what I'm saying? So I guess he ghosted me, and it was for my benefit. So yeah. But I just feel like ghosting is really some pussy ass shit to me. Like, I just feel like it's very disrespectful, and it shows me that you don't deal with your problems head on. Like, you just run away from your problems. And when you run away from your problems, that doesn't solve anything, because the problem is still there. The problem is still there. Like, you're not handling it accordingly. You know what I'm saying? If you're not somebody that, like, you know, could solve your problems head on, like, if you're somebody that's afraid of, like, confronting your problems, then boo-boo, like, I'm sorry, I cannot be with you anyway. So it's okay, you know? But it was definitely, like, it was a learning experience. I learned a lot from this experience. I don't know, the next time my mom finds me somebody, or I don't know, somebody else stumbles into my life somehow by some weird circumstance, you know, I know now. Like, I'm not gonna throw away my ideals for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And if they ghost me, that's okay too. That just shows they pussy, and I don't need no pussy as my boyfriend or my husband or whatever the case might be. So it don't even matter. And also, like, first of all, like, I let you alone. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I left you alone. You know, if you really planned on ghosting me, like, if you really thought that you weren't interested in me, right? Why? Like, I left you alone. So you should have left me alone, because I left you alone. You see, like, I did the work for you. So what's the problem? Like, this is why I'm just gonna be single forever. It's unfortunate. It's okay. It's okay. You learn and you grow. Learn and you grow and you keep going. And I'm only 20, so I have a lot more to learn. But that first experience was very interesting. Well, until next time, thank you guys for watching. Bye.